Good morning. Welcome to Chipola College. We are so pleased to be able to host this Workforce Advisory Council today. Thank you for being champions for workforce education. You were asked to serve today because of your expertise in your field of work. We want you to help us ensure that our programs are meeting the needs of business and industry and that our graduates are prepared to enter the workforce. Thank you for your help in recruiting students and for helping our graduates get good jobs. Chipola is your college, and you're an ambassador for Chipola. So as president, I would like to give you a report that the college is in great shape. Enrollment is steady, graduation rates are up, and we're financially sound, and we thrived during Hurricane Michael and COVID, so we are glad to be here today. Chipola's been nominated for an Aspen Prize for the 6th straight time. This ranks Chipola in the top 10% of 1,500 community colleges in the nation. We are so fortunate to have a beautiful campus, a qualified faculty, and great students. But we're also very, very fortunate to have you here supporting Chipola and on our advisory councils. We depend on your advice, we depend on your experience in the world of work, and we count on you to help us provide quality programs. Our challenge for the future is going to be to adapt to change that is underway. There was recently legislation enacted that will make the state more of a decision maker in terms of workforce program startup, retention, and funding. And this will be based on not only college data, but on regional and state data and shortages and information. This is still, there's rulemaking for this legislation is still in progress and is yet to come. But the good news is that while it was still in our local autonomy, we have started in the last 4 years 4 new workforce programs: building, construction, and trades, advanced manufacturing, which is a pathway to our engineering programs, an AS degree in paramedics, and now a cybersecurity degree. We not only started these programs, what we competed and procured funding through grants to start these programs because it's an expensive endeavor. And so now what we'll be doing, the grant writing was not only hard, but the hard part also is recruiting and producing the numbers that we predicted in these grants. And so that will be our focus. You'll hear some about that for the next 2 years. We want to grow these new programs we're so proud of, and we also want to grow and retain the programs we already have. We are honored to have with us today our keynote speaker. She is not a stranger to Chipola, and she is the Director of External Affairs from Gulf Power. We look forward to hearing what she has to say about workforce and about jobs today and tomorrow. Our college also has a quality enhancement plan to help students make career choices. That's a really hard thing right now, is we really are focused on recruiting, and we want to recruit all of the students, not only from the high schools, but from out in the communities that would need more training. CareerSource Florida is a very important partner in this initiative, and we have with us today the state leader and also our local leader, Richard and Michelle Denard, Richard Williams. We're so glad that they're here today. Our goal is to offer the best workforce programs possible. And on behalf of our program faculty here at Chipola and our staff, I want to thank you for your guidance and thank you for being a part of this process. And now Darwin, our Dean of Workforce Development, Darwin Gilmore.
Thank you, Dr. Clemens. Thank you, Steve, for leading us and getting us started. I just want to take a moment to thank the people who worked so hard to put this together. As you all know, these things are fairly complex and take a lot of effort. And Sean Kine, Mary Bruce Hamilton, Tammy Neal, Scott Phelps, Rance Massengill, Jamie, all of our staff, all of our instructors, just put so much into getting this put together. I'd just like you to join me in a round of applause for them. I also want to echo Dr. Clemens' welcome. Both our direct advisors and our community and economic development partners are here. And we recognize that you work so hard to help us. We recognize you help us bring funding. DEO, others who have supported us with some ongoing grants right now, we thank you. But whether you're a small company, I know Cottondale Fire Department's here, I don't think Ty will mind me picking on them, or whether you're Eastern Shipbuilding trying to ramp up to make Coast Guard cutters, we're just as interested in each one of you. All these chiefs, the sheriffs, the wardens, the people who lead every day, we thank you. And I want to recognize all these state, local, elected officials. I just want to ask you to join me in a round of applause for them as well who are supporting us. So Dr. Clemens mentioned all our workforce programs are important. I'll just run through. We have business, education, health sciences. They are actually meeting in another location today due to the overflow possibility. But we also have cosmetology, welding, which includes advanced welding for pipelines. We have automotive service. We have the building technology, which is new, advanced manufacturing, Lessa Bates leading that, which is new. We have engineering technology, which is basically hydraulics, pneumatics, motors, PLCs, these kind of things which promote the manufacturing industry. We have civil engineering tech, which is helping do site work, surveying, AutoCAD, all these type things. We have firefighting, which is Fire 1 and Fire 2 together. We have corrections. By the way, our corrections, this past year, we were number 2 in the state of turning out that many trained corrections officers. Thank you for being such an outstanding partner with us, Department of Corrections. And law enforcement. I just so appreciate all of you and our instructors that put it on the line every day. It's just an honor to work with them because I mean that from the bottom of my heart. They are just the best of the best. So thank you to the instructors. I'll give a couple of things here too before I introduce Sandy. As a rural region, it's not like it was bad enough to have the storm. Now you have to add the pandemic. With these things, it's created so many challenges. But I want to read a couple of quotes from a guy named Thomas J. Watson. You may know him. He led IBM into a world-dominating computer organization from 1914 to 1956. He has a few quotes. And so given the fact we have all these obstacles and all these problems, we need to be persistent to win. We need to be persistent to succeed. And that's the mark that makes a difference, right? Y'all know it'd be easy to quit on some of this stuff. You know what? You get up enough hard problems in front of you, it'd be easy to quit. But here's some of his quotes, which I wanted to share with you. It says, 1, if you want to succeed, double your failure rate. You have to try things. You have to press forward. And our people do that. They are committed to do that. He says, quote, whenever an individual or business decides that success has been attained, progress stops. I can tell you, Dr. Clemens, our leadership, they are pressing us forward. We want to continue to develop. We want to continue to excel. And I'm proud of that out of our group. Here's the third quote. Maybe can be a lesson for me even today. Really big people are above everything else, courteous, considerate, and generous, not just to some people in some circumstances, but to everyone all the time. That's a mark of somebody big. That's the mark of somebody big. So whether you're Rex Lumber or whomever today, just know we're committed to grow your business and your agency with the talent pool that you need. We're working on supply side and demand side. Our people are involved on boards. Our people are involved in recruiting companies to this area and building up the existing companies. So we're integral from the supply side and the demand side, and that makes me proud. Now, we're all connected to each other. You might know that quality of place is the number one thing that people are looking at after workforce when they decide if they're going to bring a company in. So quality of place means they kind of see if we get along or not. You know what? They see if we work together or not, that we're connected. And one thing I'll say, our community, I think, is connected. If you don't believe that, think about your power. When your power goes out, is it normally just your power? When you lose power, it's normally everybody on the line. And so that moves me toward introducing Sandy more specifically. Our speaker today is somebody who is so connected in the community and so connected in our economic development. She's worked at almost every department in Gulf Power, I think, and she hates it to read all this, but I'm going to give you some of it. She's worked for Gulf Power for more than 35 years and has had various positions in leadership, including customer service, operations, corporate support. In her current position, she provides strategic direction for the company's economic development, community relations, external affairs, and focuses on building and growing sustainable communities in Northwest Florida. In fall of 2018, Sandy was a district GM for Gulf Power's Eastern District, which included Panama City, Chipola, and Tyndall Air Force Base when Hurricane Michael made landfall. As one of the strongest storms that's ever hit in the U.S., working with more than 7,500 resources from Gulf Power, several other states, and Canada, the Gulf Power team restored power to more than 95% of the customers who could take power in only 13 days. Category 5 hurricane. Sandy is an active community advocate across all Northwest Florida. I know her when she comes in, and she has supported us through foundations, dollars. She is given directly to our classes. Of course, I'm hitting her up for a lot more money, and we will circle back to that. But she is a board member on so many things. She's been on so many boards. I'm just going to say that she was recognized in 2018 as a Woman of Distinction Diamond Award recipient, even by Girl Scouts of Florida Panhandle, and 2019 Pinnacle Award by 850 Magazine. And with that, I would like to introduce Ms. Sandy Sims from Gulf Power.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Darwin, for that very kind introduction. I hate having to submit the bio and listen to all that, because really what I'm about is being here and just being with all of you and supporting what you do every day. But I am honored to be here, and I've had the privilege of working with Darwin, as he mentioned, for several years. And I admire Darwin's passion for creating an innovative learning environment for his students here at Chipola. And for those of you who don't know, I take a little pride in Darwin because he interned at Gulf Power. So, we start and grow very good people. And a lot of people in this room have worked with or for Gulf Power. I also want to thank all of you for your commitment to the students and their futures, and also for your commitment to this community. Workforce development is critically important to our economy. It feels like everything is changing, now more than ever. Technology is advancing faster and faster. Our jobs look different today than they did a year ago or 2 years ago, and our needs are constantly evolving. Your roles as advisors are critically important to our students because you're experiencing firsthand all of these changes. And hopefully you're going to come back here and share that knowledge and help these students gain the skills that they need to add value to the workforce, because after all, these students are our future. I'd also like to pause right here and introduce a few of my colleagues that help me every day carry out the mission that Darwin so eloquently mentioned earlier. I'm happy to have Tracy Andrews. Tracy is our External Affairs Manager in the Chipola area. And Matt Moeller. Matt is a Strategic External Affairs Manager. He's only been with our company a year? Yeah, about. But these two people are integral in helping us carry out our mission. So when I asked Darwin today what he wanted me to speak about, he was, a little hesitant. He said, I'm going to leave the topic up to you, Sandy. I said, oh, if you know me, that's a pretty dangerous proposition because I'm a bit of a talker and I can talk to anyone about anything. So, that shows you the level of trust that Darwin and I have between each other in that he let me pick my topic. So as I was thinking about it, I realized really that what I want to talk to you today about is investing. You may wonder what the External Relations Director at the power company knows about investing. Am I going to give you stock tips? No, the SEC would probably have some problems with that, and I really don't want to become the next Martha Stewart in jail. So that's not the kind of investing I'm going to talk with you about today. I'm going to talk with you about a couple of different kinds of investments. The Merriam-Webster definition of invest is, number one, to commit in order to earn a financial return. Two, to make use of for future benefits or advantages. And three, to involve or engage, especially emotionally. So think about that definition as I finish out my remarks today. I'm going to start first with the first part of that definition. I want to tell you about the investments NextEra Energy is making in our area. All right, and I'm going to start with a little bit about Gulf Power because not all of you are customers of ours, but hopefully you know a little bit about us. We serve more than 470,000 customers in Northwest Florida, and we'll continue serving them under the name Florida Power and Light, also known as FPL, come January of 2022. Tracy and I are working really hard to say that because we've been Southern Company Gulf Power people for a long time. But January 1st of 2022, we will become FPL. We were acquired by FPL's parent company, NextEra Energy, in 2019 and merged with FPL earlier this year. NextEra Energy is a Fortune 200 company and has been the most admired company in the electric and gas utility sector on Fortune's list 14 out of the last 15 years. We have operations and development projects in 49 states, and NextEra Energy Resources is the world's largest generator of renewable energy from the wind and the sun, and a world leader in battery storage. FPL is the largest energy company in Florida. Combined with Gulf Power, we serve more than 5.6 million customers in 43 counties from Pensacola to Miami. And as we make the transition to FPL on January 1st, there's a couple things I want you to know. The energy we produce to power your life is cleaner than ever before, and we're getting cleaner. We're doing this through investments in large-scale zero-emission solar and retiring coal productions for cleaner U.S.-produced natural gas energy sources. Locally, you're seeing this with the solar centers we're building right here in Jackson County. These energy sources have lower operating costs for our customers and create value in our communities. Our customers here in Northwest Florida are seeing higher reliability than ever before. The comment Darwin made about when your lights go out, I hope many of you went when my lights never go out. But we are working really hard to improve reliability, and since 2019, We've increased our reliability for our customers by more than 50%. And we're making more than $1 billion of investments over the next 10 years in Northwest Florida to make the energy grid stronger, more resilient, and more reliable than ever before. As part of FPL, we're working to deliver to our customers a cleaner, more reliable, and more cost-effective energy future. The only way we can provide that is to continuously reinvest ourselves through investments in innovation. For example, we use the latest technology, such as smart switches, robots, and drones to help keep the power on and restore it faster when outages do occur. As key stakeholders and leaders here, I know you all know how important innovation is to your business. NextEra Energy and FPL made the investment to purchase Gulf Power, and we're working every day to increase the value of that investment for our customers and for our communities. Now, if this works right, I'm going to pull up a video that talks about innovation, and I hope that you guys enjoy it and it works. There we go.
We're always looking future straight in the eye. When the future said, cut back on foreign oil, we tore down old plants and made way for clean, American-made natural gas. Then it said, reach for the sun, so we reached already. With more solar panels than anyone, we absorb the sun's energy, convert it, and even store it for later. Then the future asks, can we be even more reliable? We can. We gotta. And when it said we'll need zero carbon emissions, we said, okay, let's make energy from this. Water. It's called green hydrogen. Just grab some sun, add water, and there. Cleaner energy for all of us. So we keep planning, preparing, investing, because Florida deserves, my generation deserves a future we can depend on. Looking pretty good to me.
I just love that spot because to me it showcases everything that our industry is about. And you know, I've worked for Gulf Power for a long time, and I tell people I started when I was 5, and I have done just about everything at the power company. But you know, until about 10 years ago, there really hadn't been many changes to our industry. We still burn fossil fuel to create energy that was delivered to your house by overhead lines, poles, and wires. We still sent meter readers to your house to read the meter. We still had business offices for you to come in and pay your bill with cash. Well, I'd have to say that over the last 10 years, we've seen a lot of innovation in that business model. And to me, that's an exciting thing to be a part of. So as part of our investment in Northwest Florida and across the state, Gulf Power and FPL are also committed to working with our communities in other big ways, such as supporting education and workforce development programs, specifically in the STEM areas. And it helps that many of our employees at Gulf Power and FPL, like me, have a personal passion for this. Through financial support, volunteering, and mentoring, we work together with our communities and partners to help break down barriers that may exist for students to receive the training and education they need to succeed. A few examples of this: we support more than 100 student robotics teams across the state, and we're now rolling out a new program of supporting drone teams across the state. We offer high school seniors scholarships to local state colleges and universities, just like Chipola College here. And we're partnering with a nonprofit to find students who aren't on the college track, but want to get training in solar energy fields and build a career. And today, what we're all here for, though, is Chipola College. Gulf Power's been a strong partner for Chipola's workforce training programs for several years now, specifically in the engineering, technology, and advanced manufacturing areas. We work closely with Darwin and his team to invest in the equipment needed to assure the students are equipped with the experience and education to help them be successful. This commitment to our students and our community that we share is important because I've seen firsthand all areas of that definition of investment I read a few minutes ago and how those returns grow exponentially. I'd like to quickly share 3 brief stories to give you an idea of exactly what I mean. I'm a recipient of support from several community programs you may be familiar with, like the Boys and Girls Club and so many other great organizations. My mom was only 17 when I was born, and I actually helped raise my siblings. That community support was so important to us. And along the way, there were people who reached out to help me realize my dreams. My 3rd grade teacher took me to an arts production over in a town about an hour away that I would have never had the opportunity to see. The local Kiwanis Club gave me scholarships to a youth camp, and the American Businesswomen's Association and others provided scholarships to allow me to attend Florida State University, we finally won one, and pursue a degree in computer engineering. Others invested in me. They showed me the opportunities. And this commitment to give back and invest in others and in my community was instilled in me at an early age because I received it. And through my role at Gulf Power, I'm helping to invest in others. My second story. So while I was at Florida State, enjoying everything there, I was working full-time, going to school full-time, I realized I just couldn't do it all. So I had to quit school while I was studying and figure out what was next. I had so many people come to me, though, at that time and say, don't quit. You'll never go back to school. You'll never finish. But I was determined, and I knew I had a plan. I knew I was quitting in order to find a better situation that would allow me to succeed. So some time passed, and then I found out about a job at Gulf Power as a drafting clerk. And at that time, and we still do, our company offers tuition reimbursement. That was the driver for me. I worked days, I packed my dinner, went to school at night, spent many, many late nights in the computer lab, and got up and went right back to work at Gulf Power the next day. And a couple years later, I graduated with my degree. When I graduated, I copied my diploma, inserted it into some cards, sent it to those people who told me that I'd never go back, that I'd never finish. And I still run into people today who remember that I sent them that card. The point about all that really is, I know about financial barriers and time barriers. Gulf Power, though, invested in me, a woman in a male-dominated field. They took a chance on me and my future. They made sure I was trained as a member of the workforce. They invested in me as a person. I'm so honored that as part of Gulf Power and FPL, I can help do that for others. We invest in our students and in our communities so they're strong and they continue to grow. So now, let's talk about what's in it for your company. Why investing in someone else is good for your company and your business, whatever that might be. I've changed jobs more than a dozen times over the last almost 40 years at one company, Gulf Power. I've had the ability to grow and explore different career paths. I often say I've done every job here except climb a pole, and I did go to pole climbing school, but they didn't have any hooks short enough to fit on my legs. But I even remember the very first job I engineered for Gulf Power. And some of you may know there's a little restaurant over in Destin called Fuddpuckers. And when Fuddpuckers was built, it was the very first building built on Highway 98 when it was relocated from the beach up to now what's Emerald Coast Parkway. So I am showing my age here. That was the very first job that I engineered. And the personal satisfaction I had when at the end of construction, the lights were burning inside that building is one that I still draw on when faced with a new challenge. But I will say, I did consider leaving when Gulf Power was acquired a few years ago. I spoke with our new leadership about it and was seriously considering it as an opportunity to go out and do something else. Then I thought about my teammates, my history here, my future here, and I knew I had more to give back. I owed it to my teammates to make sure that NextEra Energy and FPL understood and appreciated the potential value of their recent investment. And I'm seeing returns on that every day. I've just always felt like the company invests in me every day by allowing me to work with many of you in this room to build, grow, and sustain infrastructure for strong communities, and I owe it to them and to you to make the best that I can. So, in those 3 stories, I hope you understood that there was always someone investing in me, taking the time to believe in me and support me, help me get those tools that I needed. What you're doing is important. These students need to have the tools to be successful, and who better to do that than you? It'll come full circle. Invest in that student. That student just might wind up working for your company or another company here. Imagine all they can do for our community, and imagine what might be instilled in them. Hopefully, they might just have that passion to support the next generation of the workforce. And I can guarantee the returns are boundless. So thank you for your time. Thank you for all you do to invest in the students here at Chipola and to invest in the future of our communities through your work. It's my pleasure to serve alongside each of you every day as we build a stronger Northwest Florida. Thank you.